Hey friends, what's up? Kaz here. Welcome back to another server admin tutorial or spigot plugin tutorial. If you're joining me for the first time, feel free to hit that subscribe button because I do these every week. If you have a suggestion of a plugin you'd like me to do, feel free to comment that in the gibbles below and I will capture that, give you a shout out when I get to it. Like this week, special thanks, shout out to Marjorie Wania, MPF Gaming, Bubba B, Greek Gamer Ted 71, and Jamn TV for suggesting Quest, which is made by Happy Pikachu. Now, Quest is a plugin that gives you a MMO feel to your server, so it'll allow you to put different kinds of actions and quests in play on your server where people can get experience and items and other sort of things. You could set up each quest to have different kinds of requirements to start it. You know, money, you have to have a special item, or quest points, which is like a built-in point system for this plugin. So you have to have done so many other quests to be able to do this, kind of like a leveling system. It's fantastic. It requires Vault. It's highly recommend that you use with citizens, so that you can have those NPCs that you can walk up to and talk to start quests, which is really cool. I'll show you guys that in this tutorial. It also has works with Denizen, World Guard, Fat Loot, McMMO, and Hereos. Those all have different kinds of tie-ins in with this plugin, which you'll see some of them while we're going through this tutorial, which is really cool. So the permission nodes pretty much are good to go right off the default, and you don't really need to do anything. But if you want to give like your admins some special perms, you can do quest.admin.star. That allows them to do a lot of the admin commands to give people quests, that kind of stuff. And then you could do quest.editor.star to allow people to be able to edit the quests that are already out there. So the way that this works is basically you do quests, and that gives you a list of all the commands that you can do. And you can do quest list, and that's going to give you a list of all the quests that are available right now. This is if you don't want to use the NPC way to be able to see quests. So we can do quest journal, and then that will show you any kind of quest that you have accepted, and then you can type that again and it'll go away, which is really cool. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make our own quests, but before we even need to start doing the quest, we need to set up kind of the event, or one of the events. So this plugin is broken up into two kind of sets. You have quests and events. Now events are triggered from the quest, and it's a way that you can put multiple kind of things on top of the quest. So an event is triggered like by the player death, or the player start the quest, or the player finishes the quest, or the player logs out of the quest. There's quite a few of them, and you can set those up and call those at any time at any stage of the quest. So the quest can call multiple different events during the course of the quest, which is pretty cool. So we're going to create the event first. So we're going to do quest events. Now you can see we can do edit the event, and you can see the events that are already in there. We already have a death fail event, example event, all that. So we're just going to do cancel. Now keep in mind, once you've entered these menus, don't put any other commands in because it might mess up a lot of stuff. So, you know, don't try to give yourself anything. It might even error out. So we're going to create event bacon start, and we want to give an item. So we're going to select, this is like all the different things that you can do for this event. So an event can do multiple different things at the same time, which is pretty slick. So we're just going to do add item, and then we're going to put this one, load the item in the hand, then we're going to set the lore for the item. So pig sticker, and done, and done. And then that's pretty much all that we want this event to do. So we're going to do 18. Now if you do 19, it's not going to save the event. So we want to save it. We're going to go yes. And that's it. We're done creating that event. Really easy. There's a bunch of other things in that event list that you can do, so keep an eye on those. Now we're going to create our quest, but first we need to create the NPC. So we're going to go create merchant, There he is. And then we want to make him look at us. NPC look. Now that's all part of citizens, and then we can do NPC inf or ID. Now this is a good thing to note, but the author does have built in if you forget the NPC ID, which is really cool. So then we do quest editor. Now once again, once you enter this menu area, don't enter any other commands. If you notice, I'm already in creative mode, so we're going to go create new bacon run. Create new quest. So now here we are with setting up the quest. So we want to set the I'm all out of pork to make bacon. And then we'll set the finish. Thanks for the bacon. Alright, so then that finish message is what you get when you finish the quest. And then we're going to set the redo delay. We're only going to do 5 seconds because that's, you know, for testing and all that. So we want to set the NPC start. If you don't set the NPC start, then it's going to show up in that command list from the beginning where you're doing quest list, and then players can just accept it without talking to the NPC. So we want to set that to be this guy. So you can either right click on him to get his NPC ID, or you could just remember it. We'll put it in there, and then you can see it puts his name in there. Now you can do block start, which you don't really need to do for if you're talking to the NPC. This means that they have to be standing on that block in order to start the quest. The same thing is you could do a region so that they have to be in that region to start the quest, which is kind of nice. And then you can set an initial event. Now I never got this to work very well with getting calling the bacon start event that we created. So I've actually created, or I will call it from the stages. And then number 9, the GUI item display. Now I found an error, and this is the main reason why this tutorial is a week late, is if you set this up before you start setting up the stages, it's going to error in some of the stages for some weird reason. I've created a ticket with the author and haven't really heard anything. So set the GUI item last. Otherwise, if you don't set this when you right click on the NPC, you're just going to get text, which is cool too, where you got to press 1 to accept the quest or no. If you set up the GUI, when you right click on it, it's going to show up and it's going to have like a bunch of the quests that this NPC has, which is pretty cool. So we could go into 10. We're not going to set any of these, but I'm just going to show you. You can set requirements, so you have to have a certain amount of money, you have to have a certain number of quest points, which is the built-in point system, you have to have an item, you have to have a certain permission node, which is pretty cool. So if you want some quests just for your donors, that kind of stuff, that's all in there. So we're just going to hit done and go back. So now we want to go into edit the stages. Now the stages is what the quest is actually about. So we want to add the stage, and then we're going to do kill mobs. And so we're going to set the type to be pig, and then we're going to set the amount. You need to kill 3 of them. And then this is all optional. If you don't set this up, players will be able to kill them wherever they want on your server. But so we're going to set up the location to be in here. So we're going to right click there, and then we're going to do add, and then we'll do 4 kill radius, and then that's just going to be the amount of blocks out in every direction. So we'll do 10, and then we're going to set the name of it. Now the name of it is what the plugin is going to use when it's telling the player to go do whatever it is. So we're going to name it Pigpen. Done. And then that's it for that stage. Now you can put multiple different things on that stage. You can do where they have to kill the mobs and they have to break blocks or whatever. And actually it's not completely done. We need to set the start event. So we're going to go into events, and then we want to set the start event for this stage. You could set the finish event, death event, disconnect, or chat events. So if there's a chat on the screen, that'll trigger that. So we're going to start event, and then we're going to do bacon start. And there we go. That's all we need. So we're going to go 6 back, and then we're going to do 26, which is done. So we've set the event and the pigs for this one. And so we're going to go done. And now that's it. Now you could just leave it like that, and then the player, once they've killed the 3 pigs, they get the you've successfully completed the mission. But usually with MMOs, you go back and talk to the NPC, or you talk to another NPC and deliver the items that you retrieve. So we're going to add a second stage to this, and then we're going to do deliver items, and then we're going to add an item, and then we're going to load whatever's in this hand. So we're going to do that, and then we're also going to set the amount to 5. So we've got to deliver 5 pork chops to him, and then we're going to do done. And now we need to set the NPC that we deliver it to by doing number 2. We're going to do, that's 0, and then set delivery message, thanks, and done. And then that stage is done. That's all we do. So 26, done, done. And now we need to set the rewards, which is the next part of this. So we're going to go into the rewards, and we're going to set money rewards of, I don't know, $500. And we're going to do quest points, and you get 1 quest point for doing that. You can set item rewards, experience rewards if you want. So we're going to do 50 experience. You can do certain kind of command. So once they've completed the quest, they get the plugin runs a command, whatever it is, warp to someplace or whatever it is. You can give them a permission node so that then it unlocks another quest line or something like that. So that's all we want. So we're going to do done, and then we're going to do 13 to save, and then we want to do yes. So we've finished setting up the quest. So we're going to do quest admin reload. Now the quest now you can see that the NPC has note blocks. That means that he has an available quest for you. And actually, I almost forgot that we did not set up the GUI yet. So let's go ahead and do that. This will be a way to show you guys quest editor. We're going to edit the quest. We're going to do bacon run and edit that quest. And then we want to edit the GUI item display. So remember, we do this last, otherwise it'll mess up setting up the stages. So we're going to do set item, and then we're going to do load the item in the hand, and then we're going to set the lore to be bacon run. And then that's done. And done, and save, and finish, and quest admin reload. Now the quest admin has a lot of other things that you can do in here. You can give points to certain players, you can take points, you can manually advance them to the next stages, or purging the player, clearing all the quest data. There's a lot of great stuff in here. And I'm not really going to hit it on. It's pretty straightforward and self-explanatory. So let's clear out our inventory. Let's go into survival mode, and let's show you guys how this works. So if we right click on them, there's the GUI. It shows bacon run. Now the lore, I guess you don't really need to have the lore because it's going to show the bacon run name on there. So we're just going to accept it. So now we've got our stone sword, which is called the pig sticker. And then we can go kill these. So now we've killed 1, 2, and so we could do quest journal and see where we're at with it. And you can see we've killed 2 of 3 at Pigpen. So we're going to hide that again. And then there we go. So we have our pork. So with it in hand, you have to go talk to the NPC. And then we deliver it. So we've taken 5 of them. Now you can see thanks for the bacon, rewards complete. And we get 1 quest point, 500 money, and 50 experience. So there we go. That's the plugin. So you can always check your quest points by doing quest stats, and it's going to show you how many quest points that you have, any current quests and completed quests in there, which is really slick. Now usually at this point I usually go over the config file, but there's really not much to go over. You really shouldn't edit anything in there, because if you mess anything up, it'll break the entire plugin, which is kind of, you know, how it goes, and everything can be done in game, so there's really no reason to review that. And that wraps up our tutorial for Quest plugin, which is a fantastic quick plugin. It is super easy, but has a lot of flexibility, and I'm sure you guys can make some pretty sweet questing system. So this is Cos from McFriends, reminding you guys all, enjoy the game. God bless. Oh, man. Oh, stupid early. Hey, friends.